8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3.
Watch na tayo. No tayo airplane.
That is Daniel Wenzel swimming 265 feet under the ice of a frozen lake where nothing but that. That beat the previous world record by 5 feet, but Wenzel said that he still, for some reason, has to wait 8 to 12 weeks for official confirmation. It seems like a long time, but wow.
Look at him, can't even tell. He's got a warm heart, I guess, for sure, and all that. All right, Janessa, well, it's really warming up out there. When he's not got a warm heart, hopefully we all will with this warm-up.
Yeah, I mean, that was hardcore, but the warm-up continues to come in across the deep south and southeast. We're seeing temperatures, they're back in the 70s. We're getting an early start to spring. Right now, we're in the mid-40s in most spots, but highs today from Pittsburgh all the way to Richmond, mid-50s to upper 60s.
All throughout Black History Month, we are celebrating changemakers, and today we recognize Dr. Carla Hayden. On this day in 2016, she was nominated by President Obama to be the 14th Librarian of Congress, making her the first woman and the first African American to hold that position.
2 Indian American teens are starting to make a name for themselves in the world of podcasting. The high school students are using their spare time during COVID to talk about issues that matter to them. And now their podcast has caught the attention of a Hollywood star. NBC's Chris Pallone has their story.
For North Carolina teens Kushi Bhatt and Samya Gujjar, life during the pandemic has led to lots of deep conversations. The longtime friends and high school freshmen have whiled away the hours discussing everything from politics to all the fun they had during their grade school days. Then they had an idea. Why not let more people into their conversations?
And I was like, we should start a podcast.
So they did, and the Daisy Damsels were born.
What's popping, amazing listeners?
As young Indian American women, the Friends grew up with media which doesn't often feature people who look like them. They hope their podcast will resonate not just with fellow Indian Americans, but with all teens.
We want to give that platform for marginalized voices.
So far, they've tackled common teen issues from body image.
When I was 10, I was certainly not dressing up, finding my own, telling people what my style is.
To politics.
I feel so proud seeing someone that looks like me being the vice president of the United States, you know?
In just a couple of months, Kushi and Samya have surpassed 500 streams with listeners in several countries around the world. They already have a list of dream guests, people who inspire them.
Priyanka Chopra, Mindy Kaling, Kamala Harris.
We'll just be like, how far can we go with this podcast? And so a lot of our ideas are definitely far-fetched.
Turns out those ideas might not be far-fetched after all. Shortly after we did this interview, actor, producer, and star of The Office, Mindy Kaling, agreed to join the Daisy Damsels for an upcoming episode.
We think about having our own billboard on Sunset Boulevard.
Delivering smart, honest talk from their Indian American perspectives, the Daisy Damsels are blazing a new path in podcasting and amplifying underrepresented voices while they do it.
We love hearing back from you.
Chris Pallone, NBC News.
And we love hearing those voices, and they're getting louder and louder, as we just saw with Mindy Kaling right there adding us.
Yeah, the podcast is what I love. I mean, they're for every interest, and for them, they're getting their voices out there, they're heard, and now they're getting big, getting big time. All right, the Berlin Zoo is celebrating their first gorilla born in 16 years. The newborn was born at
No tayo unggoy. Di maganda. Yan unggoy. No tayo
captured 8 days after the apes were
Wala, tapos na.
happy and healthy.
Hindi, bibitin na.
When schools closed, student stress surged. Tonight, Savannah Guthrie hosts a special 1-hour report exploring every angle, the new research, what students have to say, and how to help our kids under pressure. Tonight at 8 on NBC News Now.
They are the Black Trailblazers and everyday heroes who've broken barriers, pushed for change, and brought progress to our country. Join us as we share their stories and celebrate groundbreaking changemakers all this month on Today.
The impeachment trial, COVID relief, we're going to find out quickly whether this is going to be a functional bipartisan government. Would you support some raise in the minimum wage? Asking about vaccine distribution, where is the bottleneck? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
History in the making, the beginning of a new era in America. As Joe Biden takes office, the major changes and challenges ahead. The vaccine effort picks up.
Where are the majority of those doses?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
You're watching NBC News now. We've got some breaking news. Trucks carrying the first U.S. shipment of the coronavirus vaccine. Hope for a whole lot of people who have been waiting months and months.
It's news made for your streaming world.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Are we vaccinating right now to keep ahead of these mutant strains?
We still have a demand that far exceeds supply.
He's the first African-American crew member on an extended mission on the International Space Station.
To be able to see someone that looks like them, that is super important.
Perhaps the most...
Wala na, tapos na. Hindi ka na mag-starship, no, to? DN knows, makakaba. Is